Alright, so by a show of hands in here, anybody have a best friend? Like the best friend you do everything with, been friends with forever. Alright, now keep your hands up if you would do anything to go out of your way to make your best friend really happy if they're upset. Alright, I saw like a couple people like hesitating there. Alright, so go ahead and put your hands down. So today I'm going to tell you how to knit a scarf. And the reason why I know how to knit today is because 1 year and about 3.5 weeks ago, my very best friend that I've been friends with since I was maybe 8 years old was in a really bad car accident. So a little bit of a sad story, but we're not going to go to that. So she was in a bad car accident, her head was really swollen, and none of these hats were comfortable on her. So I'm actually going to show you pictures. Nothing gory, it's just my happy best friend wearing a hat. So it's my best friend Maria. She was in a really bad car accident, so back to you doing the speeding, I highly recommend that you don't speed. She wasn't speeding, it wasn't her fault. But the bad thing that happened was no hat was comfortable on her head. She had 48 staples in her head because she had to be rushed to the hospital for brain surgery. So, and she did not feel comfortable with herself because if you're a girl, you know, you kind of identify with your hair. So she wasn't comfortable, she just wanted to wear hats all the time, and her head hurt. So that week that she was in the hospital, I taught myself how to knit so I could make her a hat that was comfortable for her. And so I'm going to tell you guys how to knit in case this ever happens for you. Alright, so just go straight into it. First you want to start out with your slip knot, and so the way you do that is you have a short string and a long string. The long string is actually going to be attached to your ball of yarn, and this is just a little basic slip knot here. You're going to actually bring your short string over top of your long string, pull your long string through, which I'm going to show you in just a sec. Pull that long string through, and you're going to end up with a little slip knot. You're going to put this on your needle, and you can get needles of any size, depends on the size of the yarn, but I just kind of want to teach you the basics of that today. So in here I'm using a size 6 yarn, so I'll go with a size 13 or 15 needle, and I have lots of needles up here in case any of you want to test it out. I got lots of extra yarn. So after you do your slip knot, you put that on your needle, and you just simply tie the yarn around your finger, slide it right on. And this is called the cast on. So slip knot to the cast on, pretty basic stuff, and you're going to keep casting on until you get about maybe 15 stitches depending on the yarn. The scarf I'm wearing now is 22 stitches, but so you keep sliding on your finger, and I'm actually going to show you a little video, just quick videos of each part, how to cast on after this. Once you cast on, you want to go into your knit stitch. Your knit stitch is pretty similar to a cast on in the sense that you're still wrapping the yarn around the same way, but now you're going to be wrapping it around the needle. So you have your cast on here. I did about 10 stitches. You're going to take your needle. There's going to be a side where there's kind of a knot. Put your needle above the knot, bring your yarn from back to front, and then pull the knot through. This is all going to be shown in the video. I just wanted to give you a little heads up of what's going on. So you do your knit stitches, and you're going to end up with all the yarn on the other side of the needle after you do all the different knit stitches. Keep doing this for however long you want. You want to make a scarf that's 100 feet long, and you're just going to be doing this for a while. So that's your first row of your knit stitch. So I'm actually going to show you a few videos. Hope they load. So this is your cast on like I just told you. This is after you have, it's all going to go through it. So you're doing your slip knot. Bring it over the yarn, the long string that's attached to the ball. You really want that, it's important. And just kind of slow motion, put it right on the needle. It's called a slip knot because you can make it bigger, you can make it smaller, and you're going to wrap the yarn around your finger and slide it on through. And I'm just going to do this a couple times in the video, nothing too long. But it's very, very easy stuff is what I'm trying to just explain. So after the cast on, you have the knit stitch is what I told you. Here we go. All working. So knit stitch, very similar to the cast on in the sense that you're wrapping the yarn from back to front, and then you're just going to slide that simple knit over top. So you want to pull the needle through above that knot, yarn is going to come back to front, and then you're going to slide it onto the other needle. So you're actually only going to be using like one needle for the whole time that's going to be having your scarf on it, or your hat, whatever you want to make. I recommend starting with a scarf first because hats are really tricky, but I went the other route in my endeavors of this. After the knit stitch, you want, if you're knitting your 100-foot scarf and you want to add some yarn, I showed a video here with the pink scarf, or with some pink yarn to show in how to incorporate that into your scarf. So simply adding on There's nothing different. You just want to make sure you leave maybe about 4 or 5 inches of your scarf that you have ran out of yarn for, and you're going to add in yarn by doing the same exact thing with a knit stitch. You want to cut the strand maybe so it's about, you want to have 6 inches just when you're incorporating it into your scarf. But how I'm going to show you in this video, it's the same exact thing as a knit stitch. You're just adding in that extra yarn. So I did it in pink here so you can see that. So you're going to start off with your simple knit stitch, bring the needle from back to front, and then you just simply add in the yarn. It doesn't have to be anything good because you're going to weave it into the scarf later. So how you do that, just simple, back to front, same exact thing, but now you have a cool different color. And you can do this too if you want to do stripes. I have not tried vertical stripes, but horizontal stripes, it works good. So that's how you add in some yarn if you want to make your scarf really spiffy. And now we got the cast off. So you cast it on your yarn, you put it on your needle, you made this great creation, and now you got to cast off so that you can wear your creation. Casting off is a little bit different. You do the regular knit stitch. After you do that knit stitch, you want to make sure you only have 2 stitches on the one needle that you're working with, because you're going to bring this back stitch to the front and over, and you're going to completely drop it. And that's what's going to secure the scarf. So just to see that in motion here, this is your cast off, and this is when you're ready to wear your scarf. So bringing that one over, and it just drops and it secures it. But then you're going to go back to that one knit stitch, and you should only ever have those 2 stitches on the one needle. And so that is your cast off. But don't get too excited yet. You have one last step. So after you cast off all of your yarn and you get to the point where you have 1 stitch left on your needle, you're going to have to do your final knot. And this is a very simple procedure, but if you do this wrong, your whole entire scarf will unravel, and you will be very upset because it takes some time putting into these scarves. So your final knot, very, very simple. Take that off. It's going to be the same as a slip knot, so you can adjust the length. You want to cut about 6 inches. You always want to cut longer than you're expecting, because if you cut too short, the scarf will unravel. And just pull it through and tie it, and you are done with your scarf. And now you can wear it, give it as a gift. That's what I like to do. And learn how to do cool new things like make cool hats with little pom-poms. And I hope you all enjoyed and go home and knit some scarves.